Hello, folks. Welcome to another episode of Burning Platform. It's a real pleasure to have Jay, GM Extended Workday. We're going to talk about the platform they've been hiding from us for a few years, but it's just blossomed and it's developing a huge ecosystem. And Jay, I don't want to steal your thunder. Introduce yourself and let's get into it.
So hey everybody, as Vinnie mentioned, I'm Jay. I'm the general manager for Workday Extend, and I'm really excited to share with you what we've been up to here in the Workday platform, more specifically around how our customer and our partner developers are building on Workday. And really, it's highlighted through our annual developer conference, Workday DevCon, that we recently held in Las Vegas. So I want to share with you all a little bit about what we did at the event, some of the exciting product announcements we made, but also some of the amazing things that our community is doing, how they're embracing the world of AI, how they're building people and money solutions, and solving unique problems for their businesses. I may make forward-looking statements during this presentation, so Safe Harbor does apply. You should not make any purchasing decisions based on anything forward-looking that I may mention in this presentation. So when we talk about building on the Workday platform, what it really means is we have a set of technologies that allow you to build applications, integrations, data pipelines, and plans, all sitting on top of Workday, right on top of your people and money, the core of your enterprise. And so, we have a number of technologies that we put together, and they really are fundamentally woven into the fabric of Workday, allowing you to tap into our technology and solve unique problems and build unique connections with Workday across your enterprise landscape. And when our customers come to us and they're looking to build on Workday, we generally see three different types of use cases. And we see a combination of these kind of happen over the use of the platform. The first is using the Workday platform as the ability to consolidate systems and processes across the enterprise. So building applications that take one-off workflows or processes or applications, and bringing that experience into Workday where your users already are, your people and money data is already there and properly secured and properly audited. And what this lets us do is reduce risk and reduce cost, and also simplify processes and experiences for Workday users. And then on the second, we see use cases around agile response. So our customers and our partners build on Workday to handle rapid change. And of course, the pace of things continues to move faster and faster. Requirements continue to shift, especially when you look at things around regulatory and compliance. Being able to react quickly and build applications that immediately respond to the business imperatives at hand, building on top of the Workday platform enables you to do that because, again, this is where your people and money data and your users and your security already exists. You can move very quickly building on Workday. And of course, last is innovation. So this is where we talk about building on Workday enables you to bring your secret sauce to the table. These are the sort of applications and use cases that create differentiation for you as a business, go beyond the core product of Workday and solve things very, very uniquely to you. And so the combination of these three is why our customer and our partner developers come into Workday and build on Workday to solve unique challenges across the people and money landscape. And as I mentioned, DevCon is really the place where we bring everyone together, and we brought everybody together in the Workday developer community. We in Las Vegas, but we also do it perpetually online. So the Workday developer community is well over 7,500 developers today, and it's growing very quickly. We've grown our community size 80% year over year, and we celebrate that annually together at Workday DevCon. And we had over 2,500 attendees this year at our fourth annual DevCon. And I mentioned it was in Las Vegas, Nevada at the Cosmopolitan. And we had a 46% year over year growth for in-person attendance. And so we're really excited at the response of our customers and partners to coming together. And it's really our job as a product and mine is leading Workday Extend to give our developers the right tools to be productive, be successful, embrace the world of AI, and really solve unique challenges for their companies. So I'm going to double click a little bit into some of the technology that we talked about at the event, specific to Workday Extend. So the first is App Builder. So this is our flagship tool that our customers use to build apps on Workday. And what's really cool about it is it's entirely in the browser. There's no tools to download. You can kind of see the tool on the right here. You can actually build your apps with clicks, not code. Visually, you can design your data models, you can design your business processes, you can design your workflows, and you can design your user interface. But you can also switch over to the code mode as well. So we have one tool that serves both sides. You can build with no code, and you can immediately switch over and write with code for more advanced and complex requirements. And what this lets us do is it enables IT and the business to collaborate together on a shared canvas. So you can see we can rapidly build user interfaces and prototype applications together in the room. And when it gets really sophisticated, we can also switch over and write code and make it work very specifically in the way that we need to. And what we did at DevCon is we announced this new visual UI mode. And this is really unlocking the ability to do that live prototyping and design your user interface without having to jump immediately into the code. Imagine being together in a room and solving these unique use cases and being able to design the applications in front of each other, but not in a separate prototyping tool, literally in the tool that you use to go build the apps and being able to reuse that asset going forward.
Jay, the 2,500 who showed up, they must be more in the sophisticated developer category, right? Or were there some
Yes.
developers too?
Yeah, for us, it's about expanding reach, and that's really what App Builder lets us do, right? So we have a number of developers that come in from a more
Remember the guys who showed up in Vegas?
Yeah, we get it from all sides, right? So on one side, we get your more traditional IT developer, or perhaps an IT developer embedded in the HR finance line of business, has experience building applications, maybe using other platforms as a service. And then on the other side, we get administrators, system analysts that are very experienced in Workday and have some technical tilt to them. And they're able to move over into building applications with a tool like App Builder, where we introduce a lot of visual concepts and enable to bridge over into the more technical areas. The sweet spot is actually when they come together in the room. And so we have developers ranging from career software engineers all the way over to career HR administrators that are looking to get, closer to the technology. And it's our job to really expand our reach and be able to serve all of those developers. And we've done that with App Builder, where we haven't bifurcated our developer experience, where there's a no-code tool that just does a little bit of stuff over here, and then on the other side we lock off all the tools for IT. We've broken that, and we've enabled App Builder to be that shared canvas for all walks of Workday developers. We also talked about our Workday Extend Developer Copilot, and this is us bringing generative AI to the Workday Extend developer and enabling them to be more productive than ever. So this is using the ability to use your natural language to generate app code for your Extend app. And it's also trained on all Workday Extend content. So you can actually have conversations with it to search and discover how things work and learn new skills and move very quickly building your apps. And this is a companion that sits by your side. It doesn't replace you as a developer. It augments you. It makes you more productive. And what was really cool is we actually made this available to all the attendees of the DevCon event for that week. We had it in our hands-on activities. We had it in our hackathon, which I'll talk about in a minute. And we're going to be bringing it to our Extend professional customers in the 2024 R2 release later this year. But something like this is better shown than told about. So I wanted to walk you through the Workday Extend Developer Copilot. So here we're inside App Builder, and I'm going to use it to help me build my application. So on the left, I'm going to use my natural language and say I want to build a page to create work events. And you can see I generate my query, and it generates hundreds of lines of code for me that represent my page and all of the data queries to power that. This is a real application being built by your AI companion. And we can switch over to our live preview mode and see what that app would look like that was just generated again through generative AI. And what's really cool about this is the human remains in control. And we can continue to iterate and give even more value with Copilot. So in this case, we like what we see, but we want to keep iterating. We want to do more. So we'll ask it to move fields around, make them required. We'll default values in for specific fields to make the user experience better and keep the data cleaner. And we'll generate that response again, and you can see those changes being made. And I have my updated code right in front of me. And when I'm happy with it, all I have to do is click a button, and all of that goodness is added immediately to my application. And I don't have to go to any other tool. I'm still an app builder. I clicked a button and it moves it into my app proper. And this is what it looks like. So I can continue building on it myself. And
You said it's generative AI, right?
it's generative AI, absolutely.
What did you populate your learning model from? Existing Workday code, or partner code? What?
Yeah, so it's trained on all Workday Extend, all of our learning content. So it knows how to build Workday Extend apps. It's specifically trained on everything Workday Extend. And what's really cool, Vinny, is if we keep going here, the conversation doesn't stop after it builds, that big block of things for me. I can continue to iterate with it. And so in this case over here, I don't really know as a developer how to add validations when they submit a page in my app. So I'm going to ask it how that works. And you can see this curated response. And this doesn't exist exactly in documentation as it's put out by a developer copilot. It's smart enough to aggregate and give me a curated answer based on specifically what I'm asking. And then what's really cool is it can write me code for my very specific scenario now. So in this case, I want to add logic that validates a date was less than 1 year ago when they submit the page. And it's going to generate that custom code snippet for me. And not only is it going to generate the code, it comments the code, which is pretty cool, but it also explains in English what is happening. And of course, as a developer, I'm incredibly impatient, so I don't bother reading any of that. I see the code and I say, yay, let's go. And I copy it to my clipboard and I pop it over into my app. But really, what happens here is two things with Developer Copilot. The first is it makes me incredibly productive. And of course, a lot of people think of productivity with generative AI, and that's absolutely what's happening here. But it's also helping you skill up, because in this case, and I upvote the answer because I like it, I didn't know how to do this until 30 seconds ago. So it's making me smarter as a developer. It's empowering me. And that's really what Developer Copilot is about. It's about improving productivity, but it's also about skilling you up along the way as well. We also at DevCon announced some new capabilities that are coming to the Workday AI Gateway, and this is packaged within Workday Extend Professional. We talked about our intelligent answer service. This is a service that allows you to do Q&A on employee documents. Think of things like handbooks and procedures, procedure documents, things like that, to get easy answers to common HR questions. We also introduced a new recommender service on the HCM side, and what that is geared towards is based on data you define about workers, it's able to parse all of that and then recommend similar jobs for workers. So as you think about skilling up your workforce, you think about giving new, exciting, kind of gigs or sort of, stretch assignments. It's able to kind of parse through all of that and kind of help you get to the right place at the right time. And then we also talked about the ability to use generative or use your natural language to easily generate queries for data in Workday to get data out specifically. So if I say, give me all workers that have, that are in the software engineering job family and have 5 years of experience, it can generate that query and give me that data without me having to know the syntax and write out all of the code to know how to get that technically. And so the AI Gateway for us is really, we've been doing AI for a while, and we embed AI into our HCM and our financials products. And this is a way of taking all of that goodness that we bake into those core products and then giving it to our developers so that they can use in new and novel ways inside Workday Extend. And so we're really excited about that. And you can see Sawmill here over on the left announcing that at our DevCon keynote. And of course, we talked a little bit more about AI, and we brought in our customers and our partners as well. So you can see Helen from GSK, and then we had Damien from Kainos. both with us, and they were talking about how they were embracing the world of AI through Extend as kind of a really critical driver for their business. And Helen talked about, being a manager of HR integrations at GSK with Extend and AI Gateway and Developer Copilot. She's becoming the change maker. She's coming to the forefront where they're shifting left and all of a sudden being in the very strategic conversations and creating leverage as opposed to just receiving requirements and just going and doing things. And that's really making Helen more powerful. It's making our Workday developers more powerful and enabling them to have greater impact and change on their businesses. And then we had Damien from Kainos, one of our partners, talking as well. He talked about the multi-year journey Kainos has been on to create a portfolio of products that are essentially built on Workday, and how they're embracing the world of AI as well, in their latest product, their employee document management solution. And then to kind of parlay that, there's a lot of questions around, okay, AI is great, but how do I use it responsibly? It comes up quite a bit, especially in our space with the type of data that we govern and we manage with people and money. It's hard to think of things that are more important to a business than those data sets. And we brought in Dr. Reina, and she sat down with Kathy Pham, who's our VP of AI, and they talked about how they, both of them are huge change makers in the AI field, how they've embraced and thought about, building their companies and their products responsibly with AI. And then we brought out Dr. Kelly Trindle, who's our Chief Responsible AI Officer. And we talked a lot about the responsible AI framework that we actually use internally at Workday to decide when and if we should build something with AI. We talked about evaluating risk. We talked about bringing inputs not only from the product and technology side of Workday, but also from the compliance and legal and ethics side of it as well, and having that kind of separation but joined together to decide, what are the right things to build with AI and how to go about it. And we share that with the developer community because they're all thinking about how to embrace AI in their world. This becomes a really, kind of important thing to evaluate and is new for a lot of the folks in our developer community. And so we're happy to share as much as we can to really propel them and help them decide how to build the right things at the right time. And, one of the things that Dr. Rana said that I think really, you could see the pictures click and the heads nod with this is that, a lot of times AI is treated as an adversarial thing. It's AI or not AI. Do I want to embrace AI or do I want to shun AI? And really, it should be an and conversation, not an or. How do we embrace the world of AI? How do we use it to augment us, make us better humans, as opposed to looking at AI as this thing that's meant to replace a bunch of things and people? And I think that really resonates, and that's how Workday goes about approaching AI. And it was really awesome to hear that on stage at DevCon. And then Kelly, again, kind of that other side of the dichotomy, it was you don't have to choose between innovating and having integrity and really bringing the business and technology together and being responsible about it and having the right framework so that you can balance those two without giving one up completely is really important. And it's really the key to being successful with building AI solutions. And we also talked about our AI marketplace. So this is we went live with it at DevCon. We have 15 partners listed here. These are AI solutions that follow our responsible AI practices and that work well with Workday. And so this is now live. You can just search Workday AI Marketplace in your browser and you can check it out. It's pretty cool. We also announced Built on Workday, and this is where we bring in our partners. So this is really big for us. And Vinnie, I suspect that you'll ask me some questions about this in a minute. For us, it's very simple. We are looking to make it so that partners can build apps on the Workday platform, centrally license, maintain, and support them, and license and sell them to the thousands of Workday customers. We're really excited about this. It's something that we're working on with our 8 early adopter partners right now. And, we're excited. We're going to be sharing more over the coming months on this. But this is really us investing incredibly heavily in our partner community and their ability to build on the Workday platform and really offer our customers even more power as to what they can get out of their Workday purchase. And so, again, really excited about this. And, I was lucky enough to be able to announce that with Matt on stage. And you're going to hear a heck of a lot more about this from us over the coming months, and especially at Workday Rising.
Matt was on the video series a couple of months ago. So,
Oh, awesome. Yeah. Matt Brandt's an awesome guy. It's cool to work with him. So, yeah, it was really neat to announce that on stage with him.
excellent.
Cool. And then just lastly, but maybe most importantly to the attendees of DevCon, we've been doing this part of it for 10 years, actually. We've been running a 24-hour hackathon annually for our developer community for the last 10 years. And, it's really where we bring all of our amazing platform technology together and we put it in the hands of the best and brightest in our developer community, and we say go. And this year we had our first and second place winners. Our first place winner was actually a collective of developers across 4 of our customers: American Family Insurance, Sun Life, Otis, and Aptiv. And they built an application around connecting. They called it the Hive. It's essentially a virtual message board with the ability to kind of come together and create community and kind of suggest things that should happen around the office or in the workplace, and mechanisms for employees to suggest and vote those up, and then automatically create workflows that forward those across the business to people that can actually make that happen. And so really kind of creating that connection within Workday. Just a really cool app, and they built it all in 24 hours from scratch, and just really excited for them. They had a great time. And then second, one of our partners, Deloitte, came in second with an app around streamlining payments across Workday. So this was a great use case for Workday Financials. It brought together adaptive planning with Workday Financials, with Workday Extend, with Workday Prism Analytics, created a complete end-to-end solution around generating dividend statements and all of the analytics around settlement and distribution, as well as all of the workflow processing as well, and bringing all of that experience and workflow into Workday. It was pretty amazing. It was a team of 2 developers, how much they accomplished so fast.
And
So
everybody else gets the credit, huh? There's more than 2 there.
well, that's some Workday folks we have up on there. So we have Nick and Chris and Joe that were emceeing the event and kind of orchestrating it, because we do live judging, which is really cool. So it takes a little bit of a village to get. We have 10 finalist teams that come up on stage, and we ask the teams to rapid fire present. So, and then we had Kathy Pham there in the sparkly jacket on the left. She was the one who announced the winner. So the middle 2 are the ones with the trophies are the amazing Deloitte developers that won the second place prize. So with all that, I hope you found it interesting. I hope you found it exciting, and I would really love to see you next year, Workday DevCon.
I would love to come. Your voice
Yeah.
is so animated that presents the excitement. It sounds like a great event.
Well, hopefully the platform speaks for itself as well. It's nice to hear, but it's a really exciting time. It's really important to cater to developers. I am a developer, like I mentioned before, Vinnie. I started as someone who built on Workday, and there's so much impact and change that a developer on a platform can make, and it's really an important investment for us to make them successful and give them the right tools and connections to succeed. And they love coming together, and so DevCon's the perfect manifestation of that, and it's continuing to grow at a very rapid rate. It'll grow again next year, and it'll be a really exciting place to be.
Jay, that was fantastic. And I was part of the town hall for analysts you did, where you walked through the DevCon thing. So I'm a slow learner. Thank you for doing it again. So your excitement just comes through. It sounds like a great event. Let's focus on a few more questions. I kicked it off by saying you've been hiding this. I mean, clearly Extend has been maturing for a while. Okay.
Yeah.
But it suddenly seems like you're willing to talk about it a lot more in the last few months.
Mm-hmm.
Was there like a trigger point that said, yep, this is mature now. We need to start talking more about it. Was there one?
Yeah, I don't know if there was a single flashpoint moment. I think it's a reflection of a couple things, Vinnie. And Workday really well. It's a highly configurable system, and we remain very proud of that. So we have thousands and thousands of customers running on the same version, the single code line that we update every single week. And our software is flexible enough to run the smallest and the largest companies in the world for HCM and finance. And what we've been doing the last handful of years is really focused on intelligently unlocking that for our developer community and letting them build, but not some separate bolt-on thing that's over on the side. Letting them tap into the core of Workday, extend their data model, extend their security models, take all of the goodness of Workday and do unique things with it. And we had to get that right. So I think we're now at the point where we feel really comfortable with where we are, and our customers and our partners are just, really being successful on it. And so I think you're hearing more from us because that growth is starting to show. So I think that's the first part. And then the second part, and Vinnie, I know you heard a lot about this at our summits as well, is our increased focus on the partner ecosystem here at Workday. And you see with the Built on Workday announcement, we are just going all in on trying to make our partners successful. And, a new way that we can make them successful is enabling them to build their own unique applications on the Workday platform and then sell that and create new opportunities for themselves. And I'm sure Matt talked a lot about that as well when you had him on. And so I think a lot of those threads are kind of converging, and now you're hearing us talk more and more about platform. But it's an evolution of something that we've always been doing, which is solving problems for our customers. It's not this new thing that we just decided to go after.
Neat that you show the visual, you show the code, and you show the actual representation too. So clearly you're going to have a lot of citizen developers who, kick off app development, and you're going to have the Deloitte guys, right? And in a day they can create a pretty sophisticated application. What challenges do you see? I mean, this is a pretty broad spectrum of a user, right? Are you starting to see some issues on the spectrum of users?
So the biggest thing that we had to get right, Vinnie, was the tooling. And so App Builder, we're really proud of it, of course. But one of the reasons that we're really proud of it is that we built one tool that can serve both sides of that equation for the developer, right? And so I think where a lot of paths can go wrong is when you have different sets of tools that have different sets of capabilities, and you point certain types of users to one and certain types of users to another, and then they hit walls. And what we didn't want to do, we knew that we had to get the code element of it right first. And so this was really catering to the folks that had Workday knowledge, but were also technical. And we knew that there was a lot of value in bridging over into the more traditional business analyst, system admin, that they do have technical chops. They're administering a SaaS system, and a lot of them want to get into that. And how do we bring them into our world? But how do we do that in a way that we don't just create this minimally impactful tool and they can only build very small things, and then IT can't take it over and do anything with it? How do we bridge that world? And that's what App Builder is, and that's what we talk about, that shared canvas. And that was really key. We had to get that one right. I think we have gotten that right. And so I think you're going to see a lot more users on the functional side of the house because, people and money is a complicated domain. Bringing that expertise to the table and taking on the technical aspect that we've, kind of curated for them, but not making it so they only build minimally impactful apps. Very impactful apps, continued collaboration with IT. They can work together on that canvas. Like I said, we're really proud of that. We think that's special for us, and we think that's going to set us up durably to really continue to hit the spectrum of developers, but not do it in a way that we start segmenting out use cases and versus tools and all of that.
So I remember 23, the Innovation Summit, Cyan presented on Gen AI. You guys were one of the first enterprise vendors to talk about Gen AI. Clearly, it's taken the world by storm.
Mm-hmm.
How did you have to retrofit that into Extend? Talk about how the Gen AI excitement has influenced your thinking.
Yeah, I mean, the excitement and the hype's, of course, really, really high. I mean, you can't go to any technology presentation, not hear AI 100 times and maybe Gen AI 80 times. But the reality is, I mean, as you mentioned, Vinnie, we've been doing AI and ML for a long time. And what's really cool about that is that when it came to how do we embrace generative AI and the advancements that have been made there inside Extend, we didn't have to look very far. We were able to partner with our internal AI and ML team who had already been, at the front. And we had to just think about how do we best apply that and how do we make our developers sing? And the answer to that was our developer copilot, which you just saw. And everybody thinks about productivity with generative AI. That's an obvious use case. We have an obvious fit in the platform, but also the ability to skill folks up and empower them. We were really focused on the human element of that, and that matches how Workday approaches AI. And so it's a great partnership with our AI ML team here at Workday, and we're able to tap into all of their innovation and all of their goodness and push it through Extend. And then of course there's the AI gateway element where we're actually taking the capabilities they're baking into the product and then making those services available to our developers. So we're doing the use case element of it too. So we're really proud of our AI approach. And we think it offers a lot to the developers, not only in terms of what they can build, but also how they build and how quickly they can move.
One thing, yours is not the first enterprise development platform, right? Salesforce has had one, SAP has had God knows how many, mobile this, and it never seemed to, you talk about built on Workday. None of those ecosystems have been vibrant, right? Compared to the iOS store or the Android store. It just seems like the enterprise world, partners get excited, but not too many users don't end up having a whole slew of applications to really test out and so on.
Yeah.
You've learned from their experiences. I know you've talked to many of the other vendors, right?
Mm-hmm.
How do you think you're gonna? I mean, I know Matt's all excited and he's still, bring some fire to it. But how do you think your ecosystem is going to be different? Because that's always bugged me because the enterprise has never got this truly right in terms of liquidity and just vibrancy of an ecosystem on a digital marketplace.
Yeah, it's a great question, Vinnie. It's one we talk about a lot. I think it comes to quality versus quantity. And I think the answer, so every marketplace has to reflect what that company, what that platform is trying to accomplish. And so naturally, you're going to have slightly different answers to that question if you're Apple and you're doing the iOS store versus Google and you're doing the Play Store versus you're doing the App Exchange on Force.com versus ours with built on Workday and the Workday Marketplace. For us, what it means is it's people and money. It's really, really important. It's big compared to buying a flashlight app. It's not quite the same thing. Our customers also expect a high degree of quality on the things that they build. And so I think in enterprise software, there's an element of how marketplaces need to work. And then I think in our space, there's a certain element of it as well. We're focused on making sure that the apps that are available on the Workday Marketplace are secure and have impact. And so I think that's going to be kind of our driving mantra to start. And, we're really excited. I mean, the interest from our partners is just massive. We have 8 that we're already working with. The list is, the backlog's huge, and we're trying to work through that. And but we're going to do this right. We want to make sure that the things that are out there drive impact, drive business outcomes, and are responsibly use AI, and they're secure, because it's people and money data. That's the most important thing. So those are going to be our driving mantras as we kind of decide the content that goes on in the marketplace. And of course, it'll evolve over time too.
I like your quality versus quantity trade-off, right? Let's talk about hyperscalers. Mm-hmm. I mean, they are becoming the big platform as a service providers now, right? There's always going to be friction with them because they're going to be telling the customers, use our tools, you don't need to use anybody else's. How do you expect to navigate that tension? Even if they don't say it, customers are making those decisions, right?
Yeah, I don't think platforms is a zero-sum game. For us, there's no situation where Workday exists in a vacuum for our customers. And so for us, it's about how do we empower our customers? And that means integrating Workday with other platforms and other technologies. And what we're also looking at in Extend is how do we bring the power of the hyperscalers into our platform? And so we actually have active partnerships with both AWS and Google Cloud Platform within Extend. So with AWS, we've actually created what we call a native integration. And it's the ability to, right inside our tools, take a step and drag it onto a canvas and invoke certain AWS services like text track recognition. Lambda. And the beauty of that is they don't even have to stand up an AWS account. We do it as part of Extend. So they just get to tap into all the goodness of those amazing AWS services, and they get to apply the Workday security context on top for free. So all their data remains secure. They don't need to punt it out to another system and maintain separate architecture and infrastructure. They just get to tap into that goodness. It's really the best of both worlds. And then with Google Cloud Platform, they're helping us power our developer copilots. So we're using Gemini, as part of our solution there. And, we're constantly talking with Google and talking about doing more as well. And so it's like I said, Vinny, it's not a zero-sum game for us. We want to work with the best. And, we're going to bring AWS to the table for our developers. We're going to bring Google Cloud Platform to the table for our developers, and we're going to keep innovating, and we're going to put that power into our developer community. So, we're really proud about that.
So Jay, we've covered a lot of ground, right? We went through DevCon, we went through Extend, we went through your Copilot. Any final thoughts?
Yeah, well, first off, Vinny, thanks for having me. It'd be really awesome to have you at DevCon next year. I think the energy from our developer community is really electric, and I think one of the things that really kind of brings that home for me is when I mentioned our hackathon that we do. What you didn't see in there is that we actually do a first round of judging for our 60 plus teams that participated. And we actually have an app. We have 40 judges or so that go around to each table, and they do 10 rounds of rapid fire presentations where they have to literally present their project to people 10 times in a row, 5 minutes each time. And the energy in the room between the judges scrambling to go to the next table and then learning about all these projects and then real-time judging on their phone. And then the teams, practicing and rehearsing and honing their presentations. They keep getting better with each round. And we use that process to actually create our top 10 where they present on stage. And then we choose the final winners. And that energy really encapsulates our community. These are folks that built their career on Workday. Folks that we are committed to investing in. These are folks that are often behind the curtains making change happen. And it's just really exciting to celebrate that, and also celebrate the learning new technology, exploring and seeing the art of the possible. So to me, like, that brings it all together, and we're just really excited at the growth of the community. And DevCon really exemplifies that, of course, but it's a perpetual thing year round. These are folks that are just truly innovating on the Workday platform.